Hi there, it's Mimi, and yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're still in that mode, aren't we? So it's never too late to say Happy New Year. We're still in January. I hope you had a great one. I hope you had the opportunity to spend some time and for yourself, and obviously some time with your family, with your loved ones, and enjoy the whole little break we had for Christmas and New Year. I've had a great one as well. I had Christmas Eve with friends and family, and then we had Christmas Day at my sister's house. So it was great to share the load and not have to do everything myself, so which was great. So I decided to do this video tonight because I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and she made a comment that made me curious, and I thought, how many people actually think like that? And she said, "Oh, Mimi, I wish I could do what you do." I was said, "Well, you can." She goes, "Oh, no, no." She said, "I'm not a salesperson." I said, "Really? What is a salesperson?" Now, this is a client. She goes, "Oh, I'm not really pushy." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Do you think I'm pushy?" She goes, "Oh, not at all." She said, and I've known this lady for about 10 years or more, I think. And I served her with products. So over the years, I always said, "Angela, why don't you get your own membership? You can actually basically buy your products for yourself. You can share the brochure with your family and friends and get the freebies and get your products a wholesale price." No, 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 no. She said, "I love the way you service me and you recommend, and you tell me exactly what to use for my skin in different times of the year." I said, "But I can train you in that." Anyway, after our conversation, she sort of like, give me a week or so. She said, "I want to give it some thought. I'll get back to you." So she's considering joining and servicing her friends. Because what I said to her when she said to me, she's not a salesperson. How many of us, or even herself, asked that question to her? I said, "Angela, how many times have you been to the movie and you enjoyed a movie and you said it to your friends and family? Oh, you got to go and see this movie, it was fantastic. You sold them the idea, how much you love this movie, and they obviously appreciated you doing that." Or you've been at a restaurant where you go and you got good service, great food, and in conversation with your friends, or you might share it with them and say, "Look, I've been to this restaurant, it's been great, you got to try it, the food was amazing." So we actually do selling all the time, every day, because whether you love a product, it could be something you bought at the supermarket, I don't know, some grocery, whatever, and you found it could be a cereal, it could be anything. And we're very quick in promoting that with other people. But when it comes to something that perhaps it could benefit us, but it could benefit them as well. Because if you really think about Nutrimetics, Nutrimetics is not really about selling. Nutrimetics is about consulting. It's about giving someone, if you're talking about the business side of it, you're giving someone the opportunity to be able to buy a wholesale, to get free products, to be educated on products, and there's so many other things that you learn through the YouTube of Nutrimatic or mine or whatever. So there's so many benefits even for themselves. But meanwhile, a lot of people, and I know that for a fact, they keep it for themselves. Not because they don't want to, or because maybe they don't think, "Oh, that could be a benefit to her." Because selling something to someone, obviously you're going to give them a retail price. You can't give them the gifts because you're doing the work. But, selling them the idea of having their own VIP account, it's actually very humane in nothing, because it's very selfish not even mentioning it, that they could get that 20% off or whatever they might do. The other thing, I think, when it comes to selling, it's about really how much do you love that product. Let's talk about the Nutri-Rich oil, right? Most people love Nutri-Rich oil, or they might love Restore, or they might love Platinum, right? I'm saying you personally might love that product. Now think about it. How many people have you told how fantastic that product makes you feel, how it performs on your skin, and how you wouldn't do without it. How many people have you told, say, this week, next week, whatever? Now, in doing that, not only you're promoting something they're going to benefit, right? So yeah, sure, you are selling it, but at the same time, people want to be helped. People want to be recommended to, because a lot of people don't know what product to buy, and they might go to the Meccas or the department store, and what does the people there in the Mecca do? They sell them a product that they might love, and it might not be the right product for them. But and I know that when it comes to, say, our products, we're very well educated. And if you feel sometimes you might not have all the product knowledge you might need to perhaps have that extra little sale, because I think when we have knowledge, it's power. We inspire to share that knowledge with someone else or with someone. It's inevitable. When you're talking, like when I talk about a DNA, it just shows on my face. When I talk about the nutrition, it shows on my face. You know why? Because I think those products perform. So why wouldn't I recommend that? I would recommend that because I know that she's going to come back to me and say, I'm so grateful that you recommended that product. My skin feels so great. But you know what we do? We wait until somebody sees it in the book, maybe, and reads a couple of things, and then they ask us to buy. Remember the word consultant, it means it's to consult. So if you've got a client already that she's buying, let's say she is buying Nutri-Choice, right? And you're looking at her skin and you see that her skin needs maybe a little bit dehydrated. Maybe you can tell she hasn't been exfoliating. Don't hesitate to say, look, Jane, or whatever it might be, I know you're using the Nutri-Rich oil and that's great, but I'm going to give you this sample because I feel that if you were to use the microdermabrasion, maybe weekly, you find this product would perform a lot better and your skin would be a lot smoother. Now, what I do, and you might want to do the same, because there's nothing like if you do what I'm telling, if you're actually doing yourself, when you feel the skin, you can feel that skin, it doesn't have any bumps underneath, it's smooth and it's dewy and it's glowing. So you're confident to say to someone, feel my skin, like I did the other day. And then I said, feel your skin. And she said, oh my God, it's so different. So people don't know if you don't tell them what product to use. And the other thing too is, like, when you're selling a product, sell the feature of the product. Years ago we could get away with, oh look, this product's great, it's fantastic, make your skin look smoother, whatever. You know what? There's so much on YouTube now, there's so much on Google, there's so much everywhere. People are educated. So we need to step up when it comes to our product knowledge. And in our on our website, on our portal, there's an area on the left-hand side, I think it's called resources. If you were to click on that resource, it's got all the fact sheets of all the products. So you can actually get really, really confident on what that product does, how to use it, when to use it, and who you would recommend it for. So if you're thinking, this year's, we're at the beginning of January, and thinking a New Year resolution, okay? What would I like to do? It could be a financial raising, I don't know, maybe it could be a travel, could be buying yourself a new car, or whatever it might be. You might have that resolution that you would like financially to be able to save more money than what you're doing today. It doesn't take long to do that. And Nutramatic gives you the opportunity, because not only that, if you are great, and none of us are great in the beginning. I mean, when I was start doing these videos, I don't know how many takes I used to do. I'm telling you, when COVID started, I think a 10-minute video used to take me 4 hours. But the more you do something, the better. And the other thing, having a purpose. I had a purpose that I had to learn the new techniques because I wanted to do that for my team. I didn't want to let them down. I want to keep on educating my team. And it was only fair because these people worked hard to get to where they were. And even for my VIPs, if I didn't keep in touch with them and even on promotions and things, where would they be? So I had to step up and I had to learn something new. So if you would like to do a bit more with Nutrimatic and earn a little bit of income, there's no better like now because we've got resources. We've got another, it's called Learn It by Nutrimatic. Let me know and I can send you the link if you look. And that's like a program. When you actually go through all this program, you do it online. You actually get a certificate as well. So it makes you feel more, because I think that knowing the product, it gives you more confidence in delivering the information about that product. Do you know what I mean? So, and we all have to start somewhere. Because when I joined Nutrimatic, it wasn't so much about the money, but of course, money always comes handy. We had a business and I was working full time and the boys were in every sport you could think. So I was a very busy mum. We were building this house. But what I inspired to do is to do something like Nutrimatics where I could have more flexibility. Because, buying time is the most precious thing you could ever think. And I don't know if you're listening to this, your age or anything I tell you, but once the age start to climb, like over the 50 and 60 and beyond, you really, really reassess about what is important in life. And sure, working from 9 to 5, it's a lot of effort and work. And you're thinking, I've got no time for anything else. But I can tell you, even if you were to spend an extra 30 minutes, it could make a huge difference. And the thing, if you did that, you might have children, that could be something that it could help your children as well. Because when the finance in a family, how can I say, they're never obviously enough, but a little bit of increase, we all benefit. The children, we do not so much stress. You can have out to dinner a little bit more. Maybe the kids can be spoiled a little bit more. So I actually did that with my boys. When many years ago, I said to them, when mum achieves this level, I will take you anywhere in the world you want to go. And I lived up to that promise and they did. So just coming back to what I was saying, learning about the product and check it out on our resources as well, because there's a lot of information there. You can learn the product. And when you learn about the product, like I said to you, it gives you power. And because you are going to be so passionate about feeling confident to recommend or maybe analyze someone's skin, that creates trust. So when you have trust from people, they will buy from you ongoing. And regardless what you recommend, which I know you will recommend the right products for them, they trust you. Think about, when did you ever buy something from someone you didn't like or you didn't trust? We don't, because we've got to have that connection. And how do we get that connection? Even with new clients, if you were to start, maybe look around. We all use cosmetic, we all use body care, we all use shampoos, we all use cleaning products, we all use everything. What do your friends use? Why don't you do a bit of a market research and ask them the question? It's a good entry in you opening up about what you want to do this year with Nutrimatic and where it can take you and where it can take them as well. So, I was very curious the other day when I looked at the cleaning products and prices in the supermarket, because ours are on special. I want to know what are people paying for out there, so I could recommend my products and how more beneficial they would be in saving the washing machine and how more economical they would be because it's more concentrated, and how good it is on your skin. Do you not have that all that crap rubbing on your skin? So I am, even to today, I am a good student. I actually do research because I know that's what people want to know. Stepping up and knowing about the point of difference of Nutrimetic. So when we're talking about a relationship, it's about, even like when I deliver a product, because I like to reward regardless of the sale, there's always a little sample that goes with that. So if she's been using, say she uses the moisturizer, but she doesn't use the night cream. And I think, why isn't she using a night cream? Because you can't use a moisturizer with SPF at night. And if she does, I need to know and make sure she doesn't. So that's when I would say, look, you've been buying you buy the cleanse and you buy the moisturizer, but you haven't purchased a night cream. Do you mind me asking, what are you using? And my surprise, she might bought someone at the supermarket. Why did she buy someone at the supermarket? So I blame myself. Why didn't I bring this up before? Why? So because people sometimes don't know the difference. She might use Nutrimoist, but that's not going to be enough for the night time. So have I given her that sample for that night cream? Or if I see that she used the night cream, but I can still see that skin, it hasn't got that dewy, glowing effect on her skin, have I recommended a serum? Why haven't I? Am I confident? I know that serum will make a difference in her skin, so why haven't I done it? Because I don't want to be pushy? I don't know. You got to take that away, and we have to take away that perception and think, when are you recommending? You're recommending for their benefits first and then yours. I know that what stops us doing that sometimes is the rejection, that we don't like getting the no's. And let me tell you, the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. And you know what? There's people everywhere, they're using products. And in my early days, because I was working full time and I was very busy with the children, I didn't have much time to go and do, like getting customers outside because of my time was all done. So my daily routine, when I used to do whatever I used to do, I might be going to the supermarket to buy something or something to buy for the business, or whatever I was doing, the antennas were always on. And I would just ask, oh, look, I'm just studying Nutrimetic, I'm in training, I'd love to, I need to do 10 facials this week, I'd love to give you the opportunity. Now, did I get no's? Yes, especially in the beginning, because I was so nervous and I used to be as red as a tomato. Of course, it probably took me 20 to get 2. But guess what? I kept on doing it. And a month later, I used to get 2, but asking 10 people. And then as I went along, I only had to take 5 people. But you know what I did? I did not give up. It's the resilience. It's the keep on going. And why did I want to do that? Why did I stick it out even when things were not going too good? Or when I got all those no's? Or someone cancelled my appointment? Or someone cancelled my order? Why didn't I give up? Because my goal, or what I wanted, the flexibility, the travel and the cars, were too strong embedded into my head. Now, look, I'm not saying it's everyone, but I'm just asking you the question, would you like to earn an extra $100, $200 a week or a month? If you do, then take on what I'm saying to you and scrap the thing, I'm not a salesperson, and really focus on the gold nuggets that sometimes we got in our own backyard, that's what we say. And think about your family. Have you shown the brochure to you? Have you told them about the cleaning products? Have you told about what you use and how much you love it? And I know that you do, because if you're listening to this video, I've seen your figures, and and then again you got $300, $200, $500, $700. So you must love that product. But what I probably, maybe I'm wrong, maybe what happens is on those big amounts, the people that maybe you show the brochure, they come and order those products they've already been using. But how about having a $700 month every month? So when they buy the products they're already using, think about making these people 100% users. Just one thing, the deodorant, my son lives in New York. Guess what? He takes it from here. That's unique because, it doesn't have all the chemicals like the ones on the supermarket. And everyone uses deodorants. How about you telling those people? $15 at the moment, okay? Now, the body washes, the cleaning products, things that people use daily. So in opening up your resolution maybe to embark a little bit more financially on the journey, or even just a hobby on the side, it is great meeting new people. And it's great, honestly, I feel blessed and grateful that I have embarked on this journey, and it's been now 38 years. And let me tell you, people say, oh yeah, but it was easier then. No. It was not easier. Definitely wasn't easier. It's definitely more easier now. Like I can go out, I come home, I look it up on my computer, and somebody put a $200 order. Because if you promote the product online, people buy it directly. I was blown away today when I looked it up, and this girl, out of the blue, obviously she's put a lot of focus in the last couple of weeks. She sold for nearly $5,000. I mean, that's incredible. Now, obviously I did train in the beginning. Sometimes she used to do 1,000, 500, 600. Something must click where this girl actually generated that many sales. Now, she just earned herself $2,500. And it's only the first week in January. I'm not saying all the stories are the same. All I'm saying, have an open mind. Think about selling. It's not selling, it's really recommending. And, and even when it's selling, if you have tried in the beginning and it hasn't worked for you, it's just not about throwing it away and say, why didn't it work? Did you pursue it? Because look, at the end of the day, we all know, regardless of what business it is, we're going to lose some clients as we go along. So we need to replenish those customers. And I even say, if you were to put 30 minutes, just wherever you are, and just, do a little bit of lead generation, that would your business would grow. 30 minutes, that's not a lot. Because if you do 30 minutes a day, and if you haven't got that much time, do 10 minutes. By the end of the week, you would have done an hour and a half. I can guarantee you your business will grow. So what I want to do going forward is, this is just about an introduction. I really want to do some more videos, maybe a weekly thing, bring you something and teaching you a little bit more about selling techniques and teaching you a little bit more about the business. I would love you to comment on this video. In what area do you think you would like more help if you were to do it? What do you think are the top 3 things that you might not feel so confident about? It's not about the skills. I can teach you the skills. I can teach you the skills. And let me tell you, if you're part of the Beauty Trends, which is my close group, our team, there's a lady there, Margaret, and you see that month after month. I think in December, she sold $22,000. So at 50%, do your homework and see how much she sold. Now, this lady used to be in sales, so obviously she's a bit more educated. But 22,000, that's a lot. But she doesn't do any makeups, right? She does not do makeup. She sells by sending people messages with promotions. So you know what? Anyone can do that. Anyone. All you have to do, go on your phone, the people you got, with this promotion, would you like to give it a go, whatever. So it's simple as that. Sure, having product knowledge, it gives you that extra lift for yourself, the confidence. But I'm telling you today, you don't need that much. Yeah, I think mainly I like the product knowledge because it makes me feel good in case someone gives me an objection, I'm ready for it. But you know what I used to do in the beginning? When somebody asked me something and I didn't know, I would not lie. I said, look, let me come back to you. That's a great question. It's going to help me too. Let me find that and come back to you. So, people love that because you're genuine. So, what I was saying to you, if 25 was something that you thought, oh, I wish I could have had that trip or whatever, or maybe spend a bit more Christmas, or whatever it might be, whatever your inspiration, whatever your heart desires, it might not happen because financially, or maybe time, it could be time as well. And the thing is, with Nutrimatic, it buys you time. And that's when I joined, that's why I decided to do it. I wanted more time with my family at that time. Now, obviously, they're grown up. But now I need more time because I babysit my grandchildren. I need more time because my son lives in New York. I need to go and visit him. So, and guess what? And I'm still able to run a business. How great is that? So, on that note, I will come to you next week with some tips and steps how to actually implement the information that I've just given you in step by step. If you do want to perhaps have ideas how to ask someone for the first time that you haven't sort of shown them a brochure, how to go about and how to get the best results. That's what I know best. After 38 years and if you followed me, the awards with the team, we've been number one and more than once year after year. So we do have a lot of knowledge that we can share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I love to know your feedback. Even if you say, Mimi, I love the product, I'm happy where I am, and thanks again, because it might be, I hope, if it's not Nutrimatic, maybe I inspired you to do something new this year. Just try different things. I was talking to someone the other day, and she said she's going to try 12 different things. Well, I'm always about learning, and that's what I do. That's what I want to do, something new this year as well in my hobbies and that. So take care, have a lovely evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.